little round of applause for our little mommy to stand up to all that to make all these announcements. And now she gets to graciously sit down and relax for a little while. At this time, we have a very special Second Sunday sharing moment with a pillar of this church. There's a few of you out there, and so I also bid this time for you to put upon your hearts, let Jesus speak to you. If it's your time, because we'd like to hear from our pillars, our elders, our deacons, and our leaders of this church, they're sharing. And without further ado, Second Sunday sharing today is by Judy Bailey.
So much excitement. We celebrated our birthdays big time this year with the grandchildren downtown. So exciting weekend. Today I'm not going to talk about my walk. I'm going to talk about my grandmother and how she introduced me to God in my youth. She was a pillar. You talk about pillars. She was my pillar strength. As you know, Grandma was very dear to me. She and Grandpa lived in Paradise in Mount Willie Valley, which is located below the Pully on the windward side of Oahu. So there's a Pully, and then there's Mount Olaa, which she was between the Pully and Mount Olaa in the valley. She had 5 acres of land there. The stream passed through from the mountains. She had water rights, came right down through property and then back out. So we had like 7 taro patches in there. She had pigs on the other side that she raised. Loved flowers. So the whole area was loaded with gardenias and ginger blossoms, all the different colors, you know, and then pukeni trees, and then we had mountain apple. We had mangoes in the pastures behind, just flowing pasture after pasture. We would take bags with us to gather the mangoes and bring it home, and then we would all sit on the porch, and sometimes that was our lunch with Grandma. She was too busy to cook. So Papa came home in the evening and cooked dinner for us. I was fortunate to have spent so much time. I think I was a pain in the, you know what, with my mama all the time, because she sent me with Grandma all the time, and I loved it. But my father died when he was only 50, so Mama was busy at home. Edie stayed with her all the time. She was Mama's girl. And so, but with me, I think she set me up with Grandma so I could be free spirit up there, and I loved it. Go swimming in the pond every day, eat fruit and all that. But she was a Christian. I don't know when that came about, because I know she struggled in the younger time, but she was an extraordinary person. I remember her we used to go swimming naked when we were little kids. Then she said, "Baby, you have to put your panties on now because you're getting big, right?" and then I had to put more clothes on and more clothes on as we went along. So she was my pillar. So let's see, getting back here. The grandpa built our house, and it was really, really just very comfortable. And right off their bedroom, they stepped up, and it was their area, and it was open. Both sides were open to the children, to us. And then on the side, there was a bedroom where I slept, and my sister slept, the girls, but mostly boys. Her children built homes around. There was about 3 of her children built homes, so I had quite a cousins, but they were all boys, only 2 other girls. So when Edie and I visited, we slept off of Grandma's room. Now, Grandmother was really clean. She would take her clothes to the river to clean, to wash, no washing machine. And she had this big white rock there on the side. And she would pound her clothes, wash her clothes, pound her clothes, everything, and carry it all the way back to the house and hang it on the lines. Then she would starch all her sheets and everything, and she'd hang on the line. And then she would iron it with a coal iron. She would iron all her sheets at night. Can you imagine how cold it was when you tried to sleep with a starched sheet? You should try it sometime. That's cold, but that's the way she was, and that's the way it was. So at night they would pray. Both of them would pray, and it was all in Hawaiian. They read a Bible every night. They would stay in there for maybe an hour and a half in their room, in their beds, and pray, read their Bible. And I would be in another room, and I'd say, "Please, Grandma, hurry up because I was waiting for her to pray for me. And then I would hear my Hawaiian name and I said, okay, I need to sleep now, I'm going to fall asleep. So she prayed for all of us. I mean, she had everybody's name that went out to God. So they belonged to the Church of the Living God, the Kamakuma Lord Church in Kalihi on Oahu. So every Sunday she would take some of us, we had to take turns because too many kids. So she would take everybody had their turn. So when it was Edie's turn, and my turn, she would go down Kailua, pick up Edie, and then we would head back to town. I love going to church with them, but I guess I was busy. So she would give me 5 cents, usually every time. And she sent me to the store across the street, and I go buy Proxy, and I would stay there a little while. She wants me to stay outside because I'm fidgety. And I would sit, and I remember this, and that's why I love this church, because we, the Hawaiian. But they would sing all the hymns in Hawaiian, a cappella, no piano, no guitars, no nothing. Oh, you talk about music, give me chicken skin. As a child, I appreciated that. It was so beautiful. And my grandmother was alto. She was an alto, and she sang. I could hear her voice above everybody else. It was just so beautiful. And at home, she sang all the time to herself while she's working in her yard. It was a really happy soul, very happy soul. She had many friends, and one good friend was her pastor, who was Reverend Ella Wise, was her pastor. I think you've heard that name before. And Ella would pay her a visit twice a month during the summer months when the kids were off there. So she and my grandmother would hold a halavai, and all of us children were required to be there. And that's how we came to know God, because we had service right there all together instead of one at a time or 2 at a time. And we were expected to recite verses from the Bible, and we learned to sing Christian songs. And I think that's about all I have to share with my grandmother at this time. But I want to tell you that she always sang this one song to me, and it's a song that everybody knows, but it was my song. And when I grew up and went away for a few years, she would write to me. Now you can imagine how education was hard to come by, but her spelling was perfect. There's no mistakes in her spelling. In her letters, she would always write short notes to me every once in a while. She would always write this special song, the whole song, in the letter. And then she would say, "I love you, Grandma," on the bottom. So, I don't know if I can do it. I like to sing the song for you folks, and you folks sing along with me. Yeah. It's a simple song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Now, I haven't said much about myself today. When Kakulani asked me to share, I just had to tell you about grandmother because she was my inspiration. It was the beginning, right? And then we go on in life. And we go here, we go there, we do that. And sometimes we lose God along the way. And what's beautiful is that He always come back to me. So maybe at a later time, when Kahu needs to fill in, maybe I can continue with my journey in life.